Welcome to the GodShow.us Daily! Alright, we are here tonight for the semi-finals of the Tri-State Canine Agility Invitational. Wait, no, that is not done. I am looking at the wrong clipboard. I am deeply sorry to the dogs. What we actually have tonight is 1 human question, 15 wisdom traditions, and a door that has been standing closed for longer than anyone in this house will say out loud. 15 traditions. 1 question. Let's go.
This podcast comes from thegodshow.us, a free daily multilingual project where 1 question gets answered by 15 wisdom traditions. Find today's question, ask your own, and discover your belief profile at thegodshow.us. Today's question: does it mean anything that the dog is still waiting by the door, or is that just what dogs do? To answer honestly, you'd have to give up something tomorrow. Probably the story that the grief isn't grief yet, that you're still just observing the situation from a safe distance. Because the dog waiting by the door isn't really a question about dogs. Does it mean anything that the dog is still waiting by the door? Stoicism goes first for me because it is the most uncomfortable answer in the room. It says, stop asking the dog to carry your question. What waits by that door is habit, hunger, the body's dumb loyalty to routine. And, crucially, you already know this, which is exactly why you're still asking. The decision you won't name is not the dog's silence. It is yours. That is either the most clarifying thing anyone could say, or a way of being technically correct while being completely useless to a grieving person.
And existentialism agrees with Stoicism, but it twists the knife in a different direction. It says, the dog has no theory of absence. You do. You are the one in this house who can decide what it means, which means you are the one who has to. That's the whole unbearable difference. Stoicism tells you to stop projecting. Existentialism says you can't stop because you're the only one here who can project. So, good luck.
Islam goes somewhere different entirely. It points to the dog of the cave, an actual Quranic figure, one animal waiting at a threshold while the faithful slept for centuries inside, and says Allah designed loyalty into the creature, wove it into the fitra, the original nature of things. The dog faces that door the way the body faces Mecca. Not knowing why, only knowing toward, which is a completely different claim than Stoicism. It's not habit. It's cosmically authored direction. You can feel the gap between those 2 readings.
Judaism pulls the same move it always does, which is to make you the one with the problem. The dog doesn't know if you're coming back, but it doesn't forget either. The Talmud notes we recite the Shema twice daily, partly because we forget by morning what we knew at night. The dog has no such problem, which means, per the rabbis, the dog is holding something you dropped. That's both generous and kind of an accusation.
The pop culture oracle went to the office and then immediately to the movie Up in the same breath, which, the Doug joke lands. The dog from Up sat by the door because the love was real, and real things don't consult the calendar before they show up. But the Jim Halpert slow look to camera actually works here too. 3 full seconds, no commentary, because you already know you asked anyway. And that gap between knowing and asking is the whole emotional situation this person is living in. Zen Buddhism names that gap most precisely. You call it just what dogs do because the alternative, that waiting itself is meaning, unreasoned, bodily, without consolation, frightens you more than you've said aloud. The dog doesn't know the door is closed. Vedantic philosophy offered the quietest exit. Maybe you and the dog are simply 2 bodies near a door, and the tenderness is already enough. I don't think that closes the question. But it might be the only answer you can actually stand in front of tomorrow. Bring us whatever you're standing in front of.
TheGodShow.us would like to thank our sponsor, Typeset.us. When generic web typography is letting you down, refine your work for free using Typeset.us. And thanks to dyorkmusic.com for our dark rock intro tune. TheGodShow.us is a free daily multilingual project If it is useful to you, consider supporting it. Or just tell one person who is also standing in a hallway, keys in hand, not quite ready to walk away from the door. The support link is at thegodshow.us. Tonight, 15 traditions walked into a house where something was missing, and most of them refused to look away from it, which is frankly more than most guests do. The dog, for its part, has no notes. See you tomorrow for our take on the God Show's question of the day.